What do you do when the people you trust most shatter your world in silence? Daniel stood in the kitchen, the ticking of the clock slicing through the stillness. The room smelled of coffee and betrayal. His wife, Sarah, had left a note on the counter. Gone to visit Mom. Back tomorrow. Simple words, but they burned. He knew she wasn't with her mother. She was with his brother, Mark. He'd sensed it for months, the fleeting glances, the hushed phone calls, the way Sarah's laughter rang differently when Mark was around. But the truth hit like a freight train 2 nights ago. A friend, drunk and loose-lipped at a bar, let it slip. Everyone knows, man. He slurred, eyes wide with pity. They've been at it for a year. Everyone. His parents. His sister. His cousins. They all knew. And they'd said nothing. Daniel's chest tightened as he replayed the memories. Family dinners where Mark and Sarah sat too close, their hands brushing under the table. The awkward silences when he entered a room. His mother's nervous smile when he asked why Mark was always at their house. They'd covered it up, shielding the affair with lies and half-truths, letting it erode his life like slow poison. He loved Sarah. 10 years of marriage, 2 miscarriages, countless nights talking about dreams they'd chased together. They'd built something sacred. Or so he thought. Mark, his younger brother, had always been the charming one, the golden boy who got what he wanted. But this was a knife in Daniel's soul. He drove to his parents' house, knuckles white on the steering wheel. The confrontation was inevitable, but he wasn't ready for what he found. His mother opened the door, her face crumpling. Daniel, she started, but he pushed past her. Mark was there, lounging on the couch like he owned the world. Sarah sat beside him, her eyes darting to the floor. Why? Daniel's voice cracked, raw and jagged. Why him? Why my brother? Sarah's lips trembled, but she said nothing. Mark stood, hands raised like he could calm the storm. It just happened, Dan. We didn't mean to hurt you. Didn't mean to? Daniel laughed, a bitter, hollow sound. You slept with my wife. You let me play the fool. And everyone, he turned to his mother, his sister in the doorway, his father hovering silently. You all let it happen. You let it destroy me. His mother sobbed, reaching for him. We thought it would pass. We didn't want to break the family. Break the family? Daniel's voice rose, shaking with rage. You broke me. He left them there, their excuses trailing behind him like smoke. The drive home was a blur, his mind spiraling. He'd given everything, his trust, his love, his loyalty, and it had been trampled. The betrayal wasn't just Sarah and Mark. It was the conspiracy of silence, the collective choice to let him suffer alone. Days turned to weeks. Daniel moved out, renting a cramped apartment that smelled of mildew. He avoided mirrors, unable to face the man staring back, hollow, broken. Friends called, but their words felt empty. You'll get through this, they said. But how do you rebuild when your foundation is ash? One night, unable to sleep, Daniel sat on the floor, a bottle of whiskey in hand. The pain was a living thing, clawing at his chest. But in that darkness, a spark flickered. He thought of his old guitar, untouched for years. He thought of the marathons he used to run, the dreams he'd shelved for a life that no longer existed. He didn't need them, Sarah, Mark, or the family that betrayed him. He needed himself. The next morning, he dusted off his guitar. The strings were stiff, but his fingers remembered the chords. He played, the music raw and unpolished, pouring out his grief. He signed up for a local race, his legs shaky but determined. Each step, each note, was a defiance of the pain. He wasn't healing not yet, but he was moving. Months later, Daniel stood at the finish line of a half-marathon, sweat-soaked and alive. The crowd cheered, strangers who didn't know his story, but their energy lifted him. He wasn't the man he'd been. That man was gone, buried under betrayal. But this new Daniel was stronger, forged in the fire of loss. He never spoke to Sarah or Mark again. His family tried to reach out, but their apologies were too late. He didn't hate them, pitted them, trapped in their web of secrets. Daniel chose freedom. He chose to rebuild, not for them, but for himself. In the quiet moments, he still felt the ache. But he also felt hope. The world had tried to destroy him, but he was still here, still standing, still fighting. And that was enough.